All right, good to be with everybody. First of all, I want to give Akron a lot of credit. I thought they played like we thought they would. John's teams competed at a really high level. Obviously, coaching with him, I know how detailed he is and how he and his staff prepare those guys. I thought the staff was, they were extremely well prepared. Obviously, they knew some of our tendencies because of how close we are. We knew some of theirs. Some of their additions made some key plays. They've got a kid that started at Missouri and then played at Ball State, who's a really good player, had a really good game for them. But I thought, give them a lot of credit. Listen, I thought we had a game full of some pretty, some really good moments from some of our guys, really good moments. And I thought we were tested like, you're always, when you schedule, you're always, you got a new backcourt, you got some young guys, and you really do debate in the offices on whether or not you want to play a quality mid-major like this, and in the first couple games. I think if we'd have lost, I'd have, probably questioned myself in a lot of ways. So I'm glad Malachi made that decision.
Chris, you know what you have in EJ. What were you looking for from the other guys, hoping to see? Did you see it tonight?
I think I see glimpses of it. I see glimpses of it. We're still with Justice on the mend. He just, guys, he just doesn't, he's not the same player right now. He will get there. He's just not there right now, and it shouldn't be expected. And I'm not going to go into great detail. I think he'll get there. He's just not there right now, and it's not the kid's fault. He's trying. But we really need him. But without him, without Dwayne and Kyle and CJ, we're searching a little bit for some other guys, to just be real honest. And I thought we had some guys show glimpses of really good plays.
I know the pass is dead and buried. Did Earl Roberts at all creep in the final moments or anywhere?
No, I think, to be honest with you, we'll own that. We'll own that experience and what happened. You really just try to stay in the moment in those situations.
Chris, you sort of touched on the guard play, but you told us already you needed more from Jamari offensively. He obviously took a while to get anything going. Michi had his moments, but had some other moments. We talked about him.
Yeah.
Specifically those two, what progression did they need to make to avoid a performance like this, where clearly you could have used them to put some.
Yeah, I just think it's a work in progress right now. Michi had some really good moments. I thought he was able to get to the rim a few times, made 4 free throws. He's going to be, I believe, if he just commits to getting better, he's going to be a different player in January. I really believe that with him. He just has to stay with it. There's going to be games like this. Same thing with Jamari. Jamari's still kind of figuring out what all our expectations are for him offensively. I thought the ball found him a little bit too much late in the clock, and we've got to clean that up with him, with Jamari. But again, I've been trying to tell you guys, and maybe I haven't been as honest as I need to, but with a new backcourt, with some young pieces, and without some we're a work in progress. We are, but I don't want to take anything away from Akron's performance either. But clearly, we're a work in progress.
And you always would rather learn from a win, I imagine. What are maybe the biggest takeaways you take out of this one?
I think our physicality needs to get better, particularly on the glass. I think that needs to get a lot better. I think there were some plays defensively where we left our feet too much. We run disciplined. That's on me. Obviously, the 4-point play, we could have handled that a little bit better. They're late, but I thought EJ was a warrior all night. But we definitely could have handled that better.
EJ was pretty quality from everywhere but the free throw line, which he was in here kicking himself about. Given all the extra stuff that you guys, Kyle out, Seth is out, Justice is clearly not himself out there, the new backcourt, is he just going to have to do this until guys come along for the ride and some of these guys get healthy? Is he just going to have to
I think he's gonna have to perform at a really high level, like one of the best players in the country, because that's what I believe he will be. But he's gotta, listen, EJ's had a really good, he's had a good offseason. He had a good preseason. He's been involved in every practice. He's been one of our hardest workers in every practice. You don't get 25 and 11 just by rolling out and being a talented kid. He has earned that by his work in the preseason. And I think that's what gets lost on kids today right now. Like, EJ Liddell is a really talented kid, but he earned the right to play well tonight. He's been our hardest worker since he decided he was gonna come back. He's been our hardest worker. He and Justin Arns. They've been our hardest and most consistent workers. So he's earned the right. Now he's gotta go perform 25 and 11. But you don't get that if you don't come every day and work and give yourselves the opportunity to earn that. So I'm proud of the kid, because I talked about his motor at the exhibition. I thought it could get better than, because I've seen it be better in practice, but I'm proud, and we'll see. I think we'll get better performances from guys, but certainly we're gonna need him to be at his best until some guys get healthy.
In those 5 minutes when he's on the bench, because he's got 3 fouls,
Yeah.
you're doing what you gotta do there.
Yeah.
Were you kind of searching for offense at that
Yeah.
point and trying to figure it out?
I was searching for lineups and for offense, because normally that would be like a guy like Justice would now come in and, you know, yeah, I think I'm gonna be searching some. And I'm just, in this situation this year, I think they'll be early in the season. I'm gonna be, we put we put the ball in the hands of a freshman, and I probably didn't anticipate doing that as much late, as much as we did. But I thought he made good decisions.
The decision that he made on that final possession to get the ball to Zed, what were you looking for in that play? Was the ball supposed to get to Malachi at that point in the court and he had to make a decision?
Yeah, it was exactly it. Yeah, it was exactly it. And I give Michi a lot of credit, I don't know if I said this, for a speed dribble. And Ryan Pedon's idea to get it to half court and call a timeout, I thought Ryan, it was a great suggestion by Ryan Pedon. Because we were debating, we have a full court action in play that we were prepared to run, and he said, let's get it to half court and call a timeout. And I give him a lot of credit for that. And then our guys executed that perfectly, just perfectly.
When you have a guy that's playing in his first game and you're putting the ball in his hands in that moment and having him make a decision, what have you seen from him in practice that has told you he's capable of doing the right thing here? There's not someone else that would be better in this moment.
Yeah, we've seen glimpses of that with Malachi. We have. And we've talked as a coaching staff that the ball may need to be in his hands some late, particularly as Justice gets healthy and healthier. But I think Michi's going to have some of those moments as well. Obviously EJ. But we have seen some glimpses of good decision-making, ability to play out ball screens. And as much as anything, Adam, in those situations, you're looking for guys that can get to their spots against physical pressure. And he can get to his spots pretty well.
I was gonna ask about Malachi as well. I mean, in those moments, in those big late moments where he was relied on, I mean, how did he respond? How did he seem to you? Was he nervous? Was he stressed, or was he just kind of in the moment?
He don't seem real nervous, ever. So, he just doesn't. He seems kind of the same. My biggest thing with Malachi right now is he can get on himself too much and he can hang his head when he makes mistakes. But I haven't seen a whole lot of nerves from him.
And it seems like, I mean, especially with, Zed stepping up for 6 of the final 8 points. I mean, you said you want to see an increased physicality there in the paint, but I mean, is it kind of a good start for him, or what do you want to see from Zed kind of building off this one?
I thought Zed was really good with the exception of the first 4 minutes. I thought the first 4 minutes of the second half he was really bad, and he's got to be better with that. But I thought outside of that he was really good.
Coach, can you take me through the range of your emotions in that last 30 seconds? You're up by 3, and then Ali hits the huge 3 with the 4-point play, and then Zed obviously winning it.
Yeah, as much as possible, you're trying to stay in the moment because it's the next play. But they had I think 2 4-point plays, didn't they? Did they bank in a 3? I can't remember if they banked in a 3. I know they had a couple dance around and go in. I think you just gotta, you're trying to stay in the moment, figure out what your team needs next. And that was the biggest thing is, okay, what's our team need now? How can we put them in the best positions, down 1, 6 seconds on the clock, because if you let your emotions get in the way, it'll affect your thinking.
Sure. And with the way the season ended last year especially, how important was it to come out with a win? In game
Yeah, I think a lot's made of that, guys, and listen, I'm not saying, I've talked about owning that, but if we'd have lost this game, I don't think we're looking at a trend or a pattern. You know, listen, we've played in 3 NCAA tournaments since we've been here. We performed pretty well in 2 of them. So I think that'll follow us. We'll have to answer it the next time if we earn the right to play in that thing.
Chris?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Adam, you go.
John talked about the emotions of this game and spending time with you and the Taylor contingent beforehand, and obviously wearing the pins. There's a lot more to this game than just the game itself. What was it like for you, I guess, getting through it, coaching against John, thinking about Taylor people and everything?
Yeah, I just, you know, John's a dear friend, and, I would have loved to have Coach here tonight.
Changing the topic, the smile on Zed's face. He talked about not being able to breathe when he made that bucket. He said he still hadn't breathed when we saw him. When you see a guy that's been through some of the battles that he's been through in the last year and a half, what's it like to see a reaction like that from a player?
Yeah, you know, I was really happy for Zed, because we coached Zed hard because we believe he has a lot of potential and he can get a lot better. And like challenging him in those first 4 minutes, he's got to get better. But he loves Ohio State. He loves wearing the scarlet and gray. He's a tremendous kid, and I'm happy for him. I really am. I'm happy to see a sophomore have a moment like that, and hopefully he pointed at a pretty good passer. He nearly knocked over Justin in celebration, dislocated his shoulder, but so be it.
Let's finish up with 2 more Adam members.
Obviously, you probably didn't want to tie the game tonight, but how cool was that back in the shot, back with Buckeye Nation, the Nut House right behind you guys?
Yeah, I'd love to be able to just say a shout out to the Nut House and the students, because I thought they carried us. Their energy was phenomenal. So big shout out to the Nut House, to our students. They were loud. We needed them. Again, we expected a great challenge. Certainly, we all, you know, I think if you expect easy in this game, really in anything at a high level, if you expect easy, then you're probably not prepared to do this. So we knew it was going to be a challenge. Obviously, we got to get a lot better. But our students were phenomenal. Everybody who came, I don't want to just say the students, because everybody who came brought great energy. You know, sure it was probably a little more exciting than everybody would have liked for it to be, but we'll learn from it.
With all the new pieces, I'm sure you have concerns going in or curiosities going in. Was scoring high on that list?
You know, not really, Bruce. I've not felt like that's going to be as much of an issue as maybe it was for us tonight, but I think in my mind, I'm thinking of our team a little bit like, you know, completely healthy, and I don't want to keep saying that, but I think I was, you know, thinking that. And I just think we'll get better production from some of our guards than what we got tonight. But I've not thought that was going to be as big of an issue, but we'll see.
So how hard is it to figure that out on the fly with a lot of guys who you say, because of their experience level, deserve minutes, but to play them all and kind of figure it out? You might lose a game in the course of searching for that. You know what I'm saying?
I think we could. Yeah, I think we could with some of our new pieces, and until we get healthy, I think it's possible. I hope not. But this is about what can we be come, you know, January and February, March. Certainly, I didn't want to lose this particular game, but we've got some really tough ones coming up, and you know, certainly there's real potential for that. But I just, you know, one of our core values is gratitude. We want to have gratitude for every experience we go through, and we want to process that and learn from it. And you know, good or bad, we're going to be grateful for it and try to process what we need to do to move forward and get better in the next time we come out. And that's, win or lose, that's what we would have been tonight.
Well, one final one, Brendan in the back.
Just want to ask about, you know, the idea of winning a close, tough, tight game like this early in the season. I know you've got some young guys, I know you've got some experienced but new to the program players. You know, as you reflect back on your coaching career, and you think about early season, grinded out, tough wins, and how it can kind of set the standard for what is to come. You know, does this bring back memories of things that you've been through before?
You know, I haven't had too many games like this early in the season that are this dramatic. We did at Butler win at the buzzer against Northwestern. Ironically, a freshman made a pivotal play in that game as well. You know, I don't know at the end of the day. I believe that was I think that was our Sweet 16 team. I don't. You know, at the end of the day, I'm not sure what that does for you. I do think good can come from it, but honestly, good could have come from a loss too. I want us to be able to process this where we can get better, learn from it, move on. But I do think there's an energy when you win a game like that early in the year that is a good thing for your program.